Hello everyone, welcome to the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad and the Chicago and Northwestern Railway in Wyoming. Today is October 3rd, 2022. This is Layout Update number 35. I'm Mark Pruitt, C&NW Casper LCL Freight Forwarder. I'm sure you noticed the change in titles. The layout is about 30% Chicago and Northwestern, and I've kind of not been giving it the credit it deserves so far in these videos. That's changing. Something else new this month, I've set up a Patreon page. Now, for those of you who are so inclined, you can send me $1 or so each month to help improve the channel. I'll never restrict access to content on the channel based on whether you're a channel member or a patron or anything like that. So really, all you'll get if you become a patron is the satisfaction of knowing that you're helping me improve the channel and my enduring things. I've set up 4 levels of support: supporter, big supporter, creative, huh? Athletic supporter, and for those who've watched more than just a few videos, it's probably no surprise that I would come up with a name like that. And the 4th level of support is simply OMG. The link to my new Patreon page is in the description. But enough of all that stuff. Let's go see what happened on the layout this month. On the 1st of September, I just started laying the main line into Worland. I continued laying track and building turnouts for the next few days. By September 8th, the main line was laid and I moved on to wiring the area. On the 10th, I ran the first train onto the main line in Worland. While I was getting the first track into Worland up and running, I was also spending a bit of time here and there working on the prairie between Casper and Powder River. It looked like this at the end of last month's video. I added some more layers of scenery, including dustings of finely ground foam to vary the colors in patches, and added some more coarse ground foam to act as bushes and small sagebrush. Then I extended the grassy area a bit more towards Powder River. By the end of the month, that newly grassed area looked like this. I'll be able to extend the grassy plains only about another 6 inches. Then I have to build the stock pens at Powder River to continue on. While I'm doing that, I'll jump past Powder River to continue scenery work towards Showbon. Back to Worland. After I ran the train into town on the main line, I started adding the cork sheeting for the sidings and the town itself. After a couple days, I had the entire area covered. Then it was on to laying the track. I started at the east end of Worland, laying the ramp that takes the track smoothly from the mainline elevation to the siding elevation. This is just a short clip to demonstrate how I build these ramps from 1/4-inch masking tape. It takes about half an hour to build up these ramps, but they provide a very gentle and smooth transition. Once the east end transition was completed, track started going down. In this view, the transition is under the track that is crossing over the lower level Cody Branch trackage. By the 21st, all of the trackage in the center of town was complete. Still to come is the complex track work at Holly Sugar in the far distance and the tight curves into Crown, Cork, and Seal beyond the camera frame in the near foreground. I'll work on those in October. Using alligator clips to power the new track, I ran a short train onto the sidings and through the turnouts to test the new trackage. After testing, I added drop feeders to all the new tracks. The finishing touch was installing the turnout ground throws, which I completed on September 24th. That was pretty much it for work on the layout over the past month. On the 25th, I developed a stomach bug and stayed very near the bathroom for several days. I know you don't want to see any images of that, so instead you get to see this clip of action on the new Worland trackage. I recovered from the bug by September 29th, but my sister came into town for a few days for a family funeral on the 1st. My cousin Wayne passed away in early September, so almost no model railroading has taken place since September 24th. There is one more thing to report for the month. On September 14th, I took a trip to Lander to do some research on the Chicago and Northwestern in the area. I was able to peruse the files on the railroad at the Fremont County Pioneer Museum. I learned lots of interesting and often surprising things, some of which will be incorporated into the layout. My thanks to the folks at the museum for their help. And that brings this update to a close. Short video this month, but even though work in September halted late in the month, I got a fair amount done, what with getting so much of Worland operational. I'm going to focus mainly on holly sugar in October and maybe spend a bit more time on the prairie over by Powder River. I need to figure out the transition from Casper's engine facilities and the refinery out onto the prairie. One more thing about the Patreon page. When I said the purpose was to help improve the channel, that's what I meant. First thing on the list is buying a RunCam 2 so I can make better cab ride video clips. I'll never use donations for personal things. It will all go into equipment for the channel, help in deferring the cost of research trips like the one I took to Lander this month, and that sort of thing. If I ever use any of it on the layout itself, I'll mention my intention to do so on a Patreon page post before I do. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you next month.